So for a lot of us, anxiety is here to stay, and recognizing that is the beginning of a time where we're able to manage our anxiety. It's my belief that you don't always beat anxiety by not being anxious, you beat anxiety by how you live in spite of feeling anxious. So today I'm talking about 3 things that anybody that suffers from anxiety, I believe you should be doing. A lot of the stuff we hear and you read about when it comes to anxiety is stuff that you should do when the anxiety is on you. These are 3 things that I believe you should be doing to reduce anxiety and to be proactive in your approach to tackling your anxiety. Okay, so number 1 is breathing. I didn't realize until about 2 years ago that I hadn't been breathing properly all my life. There's lots of stuff out there. You can go on YouTube and there's lots of different breathing techniques that you could use, but I absolutely suggest that you get out there, research, and start finding out what works for you. Me, the deep breaths and taking the time to concentrate on your breathing relaxes me. It slows my mind down and it slows my body down and it reduces anxiety. And if I'm focused on that and I'm practicing that as often as I can, it's going to decrease the amount that anxiety comes into my life, and it's also going to be a good technique to be using when the anxiety does come on me as well. But for me, it's about practicing it regularly so that I'm monitoring my breathing before it reaches that real panic attack anxiety stage. Number 2 is writing things down. So some people like to journal. For me, I'm a little bit more of a list person. I like to make lists. But at some point during every day, and I know it's difficult to find the time for lots of us with lots of busy lives, and that lots of people that struggle with anxiety are people who have got busy lives, but find some time where you can make, it only needs to be 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, where you're just making a note. Some of the things you want to think about when you're writing about your anxiety is what brings it on. So what causes your anxiety to heighten, what causes your anxiety to become more severe, and you want to be thinking about the ways that it makes you feel physically, and the ways that it made you think, so that you can start to recognize when your anxiety is on its way. You can start to understand your body and when it's telling you you're starting to feel anxious, and understand what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself when you're starting to feel anxious. Number 3, and this is important, is routine. So for me, I have something that I do in the morning, I have something that I do in the evening, and I feel like you should have something that you do in the middle of the day as well. For me, my morning routine is I do 40 minutes of movement and then I do 20 minutes of mindfulness. And during the mindfulness is when I practice my breathing, is when I practice looking within. And then in the evening I have a process where I wind down for the end of the day and I prepare my clothes, what I'm going to wear for the next day, and it's just me telling my mind that I'm winding down. And I also feel like during the day you should have a moment where you take time to just focus your mind and focus your breathing. It's important to be rigorous with this and make sure that you're doing it every day. It doesn't matter what it looks like for you, it doesn't matter the length of time, but your morning routine and your evening routine, I would suggest should be a minimum of 10 minutes. And I believe we can all find them 10 minutes, and it might mean getting up a little bit earlier, but we can all find it. And maybe 5 minutes in the middle of the day. Like I say, mine's much longer than that, but that should be a minimum standpoint for you. And the reason that it's so vital that you be rigorous with this is because you will fall into this if you've been triggered and you're in some kind of anxiety spree and you don't even realize it, you will fall into this routine, and it's a routine of healing nature and of relaxing nature and calming nature. And so without even knowing it, you'll fall into your routine and it will be working while you're not even recognizing it. It'll be like a subconscious thing. So there's the 3 things that I believe everyone that suffers with anxiety should be doing. So the first one is breathing. Everybody should be practicing their breathing and making sure that they know how to calm themselves through breathing. 2 is journaling or writing, some kind of pen to paper, even if it's in the notes on your phone, of just starting to manage your anxieties, knowing when it happens and how it makes you feel. And the 3rd one is the routine, and it's some kind of routine that makes you feel good, of healing nature, that you're going to fall into every day. And in doing that, you're going to get on top of your anxiety rather than anxiety getting on top of you.